Hello, I'm Madalena Alberto. I am currently rehearsing for Aspects of Love, a wonderful musical by Lloyd Webber. You'll have to wait until January to come and see it at Southwark Playhouse in London, but until then, have a listen to this interview and see some interesting facts. I hope to see you soon and we can all discover the aspects of love together.
Although this year has meant a very special anniversary to Andrew Lloyd Webber, 2019 will also bring quite a fourth birthday in his calendar. Next January, London's Southwark Playhouse Theatre will open a new version of Aspects of Love, 30 years after its original West End production. But Webber's music will not be the only star of the show, which will count on an amazingly talented cast with long experience in major musicals. One of its latest and greatest additions is actress and singer Madalena Alberto. Known for playing such incredible parts like Fantine in the 25th anniversary tour of Les Miserables, Grisabella in the 2015 London version of Cats, and the leading role in West End's most recent Evita, Madalena joins this staggering production to portray Giulietta, an Italian sculptress who will really explore all the aspects of love. Hello Madalena, welcome to the show. How does it feel to be part of this new production of an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical?
Well, I'm extremely excited because it's one of Andrew's pieces that it's not done very frequently. So it's a piece that I didn't know very well at all, probably the one that I knew the least. And I'd heard about the production that they'd done, this new production. It was done in Manchester last summer. And I heard about it and I heard it had amazing reviews and I wasn't able to go and watch it. So when I was asked to audition for it, I was extremely excited. And so in this particular production, all the cast members are the same people who performed in Manchester, apart from me. So I'm very, very excited to meet everyone in the cast and to see how I can fit in and hopefully do justice to the work that they've already done before. And it's a great role. I play Giulietta, who's an Italian sculptress, and it's very, very meaty role. So I'm just very happy with the opportunity to do this.
Now that you are rehearsing for the show, are you finding any challenges?
Well, I'm actually finding some challenges. We're just beginning this rehearsal process, and it's more demanding vocally than I thought it would be. I played other big parts, and I played Evita, which is incredibly demanding vocally. So everything after that, I'm like, oh, it's going to be easy, and then I look at the score, and it's really not easy. So I'm looking forward to have time to sing it a lot so that it becomes my own voice. It's very lyrical, very soprano, which is a register I'm not used to singing. So I think that will be the first sort of challenge that I will tackle. And then the second challenge will be to find this character, this Italian lady. We're all doing English accents. So I will try to bring some Italian flavor and character to her, even with a very British accent. So that will be another challenge for sure.
As you already said, you have performed as one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's most iconic characters, Evita. Do you find in this show any differences, both musically or narratively?
I think it's quite a different style because it's based on a novel. So there's quite a few scenes that have spoken word, which Evita doesn't have. I think musically it's stunning. The melodies are beautiful, but you see, Andrew is just a genius at doing these things. And I mean, what for me in Evita, even though it's very, very demanding, it had quite big rocky bits as well. The piece of Aspects of Love in general seems more lyrical as a whole. more like an operetta. I would imagine a smaller sort of score. I would imagine chamber orchestra instead of a big sort of 70-piece orchestra, which it feels what Evita is like, you know, sometimes. So, you know, and as I said, I'm just starting this process. I'm just getting acquainted. So we'll see what I discover in the next few weeks.
And do you relate to your character in any way?
Yeah, I mean, from what I know so far, you know, Giulietta she's quite a tragic character in a way, because she, in the story, she was married only for a few days and then her husband died. So I think by the time we meet Giulietta, she's a very wounded, with a lot of grief, and unlucky with love. You know, she has this strange friendship with George, the main male character, but we know that she also has a lot of flings with other men and women. What I can tell you, and I can disclose this, what I am not like Giulietta, is that I have never kissed a girl. It's like that song, and it will have to happen. It's in the script. So I also think that the story is quite raunchy, because there's implications of a threesome between Giulietta, Rose, and George. You know, we see on stage Giulietta kissing Rose. So yeah, but in the whole, I think the only way I can identify with her is that she's an artist. You know, she does sculptures. Not that I have any inclination for sculptures, but I have an inclination for a creative art form. And even though I'm, you know, very happy in love at the moment, we can all identify with the need to be loved and to belong. And I can only imagine how much pain she had when her husband died in an accident.
As we said before, the show originally premiered in the 80s when society was not so open-minded about different kinds of relationships. So this show was kind of provocative when it had its first run. Are you going to try to emulate that sort of feeling?
Well, I don't know yet. I mean, I have to be honest, even though obviously compared to the 70s and the 80s, we are more accustomed. We see more of this on TV, and we all have friends, and it's something that's a lot more open and out there. But I haven't seen women kiss in a musical. So I do still think that it's, by its own nature, it's something that you don't see every day, not in a musical. I think it would be great to honor the fact that to remember the context of when this was written. For me, I don't think there's any need for me as an actress to think, oh, I want this to be provocative. I think that my job as an actress is to just do what's written on the paper, and to be truthful to the circumstance and to the character. I have no intention of wanting to hear the audience gasp or to try and create something that is more than what already is. And I think in the rehearsal process, we'll see what comes up, you know, spontaneity. But it is a good question, what you asked, and I think it's something that I will still be discovering along the way.
The show has been performed many times around the world. Is your acting going to be inspired by any performance?
Well, I've never seen the show. And the only reference I have is the original cast album, which already is very different from the score we have. Along the years, it has been altered a lot. So I did have a listen to the original material of when it was first recorded, but now that's in my backdraw, because not only I don't want to be influenced, but also my voice is very, very different from the lady who sang it at the time. So I at the moment I'm going completely cold. I was given the script and the score, and I'm just going to see what Giulietta comes up.
Totally. Are we going to see any kind of new developments in this production?
No, I mean, I think along the years, the show has changed. You know, even in the hands of Lloyd Webber, So I think that what we'll have here will be faithful to those last virgins. So it will be slightly different from if people have the original album. But other than that, I can't really disclose what's going to happen. It's not going to be, it's not going to be reinvented. It's not going to be in a different time or space. It's still going to be very faithful to the original book that we have.
Mm-hmm. And as the main song suggests, do you believe that love does change everything?
Yes, I mean, a few years ago, I probably would say no. I used to be very skeptical. But I think as I'm growing to be a woman, I feel differently. And also I see love in many different forms. I certainly, the love I have with my partner has changed my life in terms of I feel at home now. But also, the love I have for friends and the support I have and the love I feel for friends and places and things has changed. So I do think love changes everything, but we need to be open to it and we need our vision to change so we can see love in everything.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, it's always been said that this musical is based on Andrew Lloyd Webber's relationship with soprano Sarah Brightman. Do you agree with this statement?
Well, the fact that it's based on a novel, on a novella, tells me that, the basis for the story is something that is outside of Andrew's personal life. Now, saying this, I'm sure we can all identify in our lives, we might have all had certain relationships that we can identify when we read the book or when we go and listen to the show. And maybe that's why this show is so great, because there will be someone in the audience who will identify with it. But whether it's incredibly personal to Andrew, I don't know. Maybe if I have the courage, I will ask him. But I don't know if he would be very happy to answer.
And if you had to give me one single reason to go see the show, which one would it be?
Such a difficult question. I think it would be an encapsulated relationship between melody and love.
Well, that's a fantastic reason, Madalena. We definitely want to go see it. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we wish you the very best of luck. We are sure that this production is going to be a huge success, and we would also like to remind our audience that Aspects of Love will run in London from January the 7th to February the 9th. You just can't miss it. Thank you very much for staying with us, and we hope to see you again in our next interview. And as always, keep living for theatre.